Yo, what's up, guys? In today's video, we're gonna be talking about whether you should summon under the 6 new unit banner that Global just got announced. So, I'm gonna be going over what everybody does and give my opinion. Well, give an opinion on if you should summon or not as a regular free-to-play player. So Nanashi, he has I think this is a single target. It inflicts damage on one enemy to 220 on rank 1, 220 on rank 2 as well, but removes one ultimate gauge and deletes one skill at random. And 360 removes 2 ult gauge and deletes 2 cards at random. And he has an AoE Despair card, which deals 130, 195, and 325. And Despair recovers 50% of diminished HP upon successful critical strike. And his passive at the start of allies' turn increases the max HP, crit resistance, and crit defense of allies with 2 or less skill cards by 20% for each one turn, and for once per turn when attacked. Reduce the ultimate gauge of the attacking enemy by 1 orb. For Mono, she's more used for Super Boss Escanor. She can be used on Super Boss Bond too, but mainly Super Boss Escanor. On her single target, she removes buffs from one enemy and inflicts damage equal to 220, 300, 400. That varies between rank 1, 2, and 3. And she removes buffs on all. But rank 3, she cancels buffs and stances. So she has the same card as Green Liz. Just Green Basic Liz. So, yeah, in her AoE, she inflicts damage equal to 120 on rank 2 and 3, but on rank 2, she prevents ultimate move gauge from filling up for 1 turn. So she ult seals, and on rank 3, she does 180% of attack on all enemies. And yeah, prevents ultimate move gauge from filling up for 2 turns. That's her AoE. I'm not gonna go over the ultimates, considering I feel like that would just be a waste of time, but yeah, I could. Mono's ultimate, her passive increases the hero's damage dealt by 30% per orb, per ultimate move gauge orb the enemies have when attacking, excluding PvP. Her ult just inflicts damage equal to 455 on one enemy and makes target bleed for 2 turns. I was about to say 2 seconds. That's at 1 out of 6. And Nanashi's ultimate inflicts amplified damage equal to 630 of attack on one enemy. Valenti, the blue Valenti, she's more used on Super Boss Bond, so she's kind of useless in anything else. She inflicts detonate damage equal to 100% on all enemies. Oh, it's an AoE. I thought it was single target. Equal to 100, 150, 250. And she detonates on all. Her single target inflicts damage equal to 180, 270, and 450 on one enemy. And for all, she prevents ultimate move gauge from filling up. Her passive applies infect effects for 2 turns on enemies who have used buff skills, excluding ultimate move skills applies when entering battle. And her ult is the same rupture ult as regular Valenti. Alright, now we're moving on to the center of attraction for the whole banner, especially for me, because I sent for this girl so hard. Green Easton. She has a weak point card equal to 120, 180, and 300 of attack on one enemy. Weak point does 3 times damage on debuffed enemies, and her kit helps with that because her second ability is a debuff skill. It disables recovery rates on all enemies for 2 turns, level 1. Disable recovery rates and prevents ultimate gauge from filling up on all enemies for 2 turns, level 2. And same thing but for 3 turns. And decreases attack by 20% by 3 turns. Her passive increases all allies' pierce rate, crit chance, and crit damage by 5% per debuff on enemies, limit 8 times. Applies when entering battle. So people would use her, Kyo, and Roxy, Green Roxy, Halloween Green Roxy, of course. Her ultimate is the same spike, 350, 16. And Liz, is kind of useless. She's only good for Grey Demon. She's not even really good for that. She's solid. Sorry, Roseanne, but yeah, inflicts damage equal to 240, 300, and 500 of attack on one enemy. It fills ultimate gauge by 1 orb, rank 2, and 2 orbs, rank 3. Another single target inflicts damage equal to 160, 210, and 400 of attack on one enemy. Decreases skill ranks, then depletes the ultimate move gauge by the number of skill rank decreases, which is on all the cards. Her ultimate is inflicts shatter damage equal to 630% of attack on one enemy at 1/6, and at 6/6 it could go to 945. Her passive ranks up the skill cards of allies at the start of the turn in deathmatch if all allies are HP attribute. So if your team is all green, mono green in deathmatch, then she just increases the skill ranks at the start of the turn. After that, she's pretty useless. Again, sorry, Roseanne. Alright, and now Derriere and Nanashi just came out recently on not global, on JP in Korea, which was kind of weird to see them. Well, with all these units, it was especially weird because they had like a 6-unit banner. But Derriere removes buffs from one enemy and inflicts damage equal to 220, 340, 400% of attack on one enemy. And she has a taunt card, which taunts enemies, increases defense-related stats by 30%, 50%, and 80%. It varies between rank 1, 2, 3, and becomes immune to stun for 1, 2, and another 2 turns. They did that because of Goddess Liz, even though they should have just made it immune to like everything, petrify, stun, freeze. It would have just been better. And even attack seal would have been cool too. But her ultimate is the same amplify as all the Derrieres. Her passive increases the basic stats of the hero by 10% for a max of 3 times if the hero takes damage from enemy skills. At max stack, disable the ultimate move of all enemies for 2 turns. So if you max out her passive, it basically is like Droll's passive. But yeah, that's all of them. What I think you should summon or not? If you're free to play, no, because we're getting Assault Melee very soon. So if you're free to play, no, unless you are a massive simp for any of these people, which Nanashi and Easton I can understand, and Derriere. I personally am gonna be summoning. I'm not gonna go too deep into the banner. I'm just gonna get Green Easton and Dip out of the banner. So yeah, and you get a free multi with them anyway. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yeah, that's basically it. Don't summon if you're free to play. If you're a whale, then sure. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe as always, and yeah, peace out.